Is it all about all-day breakfast?
It does seem like that's the story in the U.S. They posted a big gain. That's the biggest gain quarterly for them in a long time, and it has to be all-day breakfast, just bringing people into the stores, giving some excitement to customers who maybe hadn't been there a while, deciding to come back because of that.
Stephen, I hate to use this very technical term, but as Matt Miller said, duh, what took them so long?
Good question, and this is something that I think the consumer's been crying for a while. And not only did all-day breakfast help, but it seems like the positive buzz around the brand, where you have them doing something that the consumer's been wanting for a while, that just brought a lot of positive brand buzz around. That, along with a successful launch of another sandwich item, the buttermilk crispy chicken sandwich worked really well as well. So I think just the positive buzz, all-day breakfast, a couple of good launches really led to a great quarter.
We'll talk about a brand that hasn't had much positive buzz lately. That's Chipotle. Is that any factor in the success of McDonald's? Is the stumbling of Chipotle?
I think you have to point to a little bit coming from Chipotle, and it's hard not to, considering how broad McDonald's is. They're going to be fairly close to a lot of the Chipotle restaurants. When Chipotle loses 30% of its sales in December, I think you have to assume a decent amount of that did go to McDonald's.
But doesn't this really have to do with the change in the menus at McDonald's and a new CEO who, every time you get a new CEO, you're able to do something there that makes it work? But the menu change seems to be a big thing.
I think that's by far and away the biggest thing. So if I'm pointing to sort of what's working here, it's clearly all-day breakfast. It's what seems like a re-energizing of the culture at McDonald's. And as far as the menu goes, when you speak to franchisees, there's talks of innovation, there's talks of new products development, things that are happening that haven't happened in years. So I think, while, yes, you can point to Chipotle for maybe a very small amount, I think that the overwhelming sort of narrative here is we're at an inflection point in innovation, in same-store sales, in margin improvement, and it's going to be very difficult not to own this stock here.
Really? Is McDonald's taking business from their competitors, other fast food chains, or could any of this have to do with the fact that people are spending less money and maybe they're going from fast casual to fast food? Could we see this hurt maybe more expensive restaurants?
Yeah, and we've been arguing for a few months now that what we've seen in terms of strength from the burger space isn't necessarily a pie that's stagnant. We think the pie is actually growing for the first time in a while. We're seeing great numbers as we speak to franchisees from McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Sonic. I think they're all winning and all putting out great menu platforms for full meals. So I think they are taking some share from casual dining. We've seen casual dining slow down, and it seems like as the low and middle income consumer continues to improve, this is going to be a great place to be.
Will, one last quick question. What about the full calorie, low calorie issue, the healthy nutrition issue? How big a factor does that loom for McDonald's going out?
I think very, very small. It loves to be. It's a category that's played up in the media. I think that in terms of the core consumer to McDonald's and the core consumer really across the U.S., very small.
Great. So that's Stevens analyst Will Slabaugh. Thank you very much for joining us. And Craig Giammona of Bloomberg News, thank you as well.